Hi, I thought I'd talk, this is Leslie Aha, and I thought I'd talk a little bit about some of my face collages. Um, when I do the collages, I'm not trying to necessarily line things up because I found that the eye wants to fill in whatever is missing. Like in this one, you can see she's missing this part of it, but it isn't disturbing. And this one, her face, the bottom half of the face is much bigger than the top half. But again, if I were trying for perfection, I believe that your eye would pick up any imperfection. So I think that your eye is able to just read this as a face. And this one's kind of interesting because you look at this and you think, well, what is age? What is beauty? Obviously, two very beautiful women. This is Helen Mirren. I don't usually use recognizable faces. I think because I think you would focus on that, but in this case, I think it works. And I think what's interesting about this one is, obviously a very beautiful young woman, but you put her together with this older face, and to me, she looks like a little teenager. She looks like that girl from Buffy on the Vampire Slayer. Let's see what else we've got here. I think what I like is how the expressions complete each other. It kind of makes you think, what is beauty? What is it that makes someone beautiful or makes someone masculine or feminine? Obviously a woman, obviously a man, but you put them together and you're not exactly sure. So does femininity lie in the face or does it lie in the mouth? I'm not sure. This one's a little bit on the weird side. I don't like to do those too much, but there's just something about the roundness of this person's face that really intrigued me. This one over here, this really is one of my favorite. Or both of these are my favorite. I just love how this nose goes with this, very strong profile. And sometimes they look like people to me. For some reason, I look at this and I think of one of the guys from the Justified show. And again, here, you obviously a man, obviously a woman, but you put them together and you're not exactly sure what it is. I love this one. I love the tilt of his head and how their noses line up. Although I'm always looking for one point of connection. I think if it were totally off, it would end up being kind of grotesque. And again, sometimes you get a very beautiful woman and you pair it with maybe someone not quite as beautiful, and it changes both of them. Let's see, what else do we have here? Sometimes these things remind me of people I know. It's kind of into this. This I love. This is really one of my favorite ones. So let's see what we have here. Again, I like doing the male and the female together. I think they kind of change each other. Sometimes they look scary. This one, she looks like something to me from the Alien. I don't like to use, like I said, famous faces except for Madonna, who I think is so intriguing, and Kate Moss, who I think is just one of the most beautiful women in the world. So that's kind of it. I like this one. I like how, I don't know if the original pictures they were arrogant, but by putting those two together, I think there's just quite a look of arrogance about that one. So I usually do about 20 of these at a time, and they often just kind of make themselves. They just kind of gravitate toward each other when they're all spread out on the table. So again, on this one, I might explore this area more. This is actually from an old master's painting, and I think it would be interesting to do more of that kind of thing. And again, sometimes if it's too extreme, too young, too old, it becomes a little grotesque, and I'm not really searching for that, but sometimes that's just where it's at. So thank you very much for visiting.